to the Prophecy Club. We're going to talk about the future today. Specifically, we're going to talk about the years 2014 through the years 2021. I just made a brand new DVD, which I'm recommending. I'm openly telling you that you need to get this DVD. And the reason is, and I'm about to give you the whole overview on this thing, the reason is it's going to tell you what is going to be coming in the very near future, and you need to make some preparations for that. But I have to start with a legal disclaimer first. That is, the only prophecy in this entire DVD that is from me is about the series of explosions, or from my wife is about the 7 signs leading to the fall of America. And both of those we still stand behind. But all of the rest of this, I cannot guarantee, is the word of the Lord. However, it is based upon the information confirmed in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. And the Bible does say that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So, if you can believe 2 or 3 people that don't know each other, that live a holy life, and both say that they heard from God, then perhaps you should set up and take notice to this one. Now, you should not use this information to make any decisions for your family, but I would recommend you strongly pray about it. All right, now what information are we talking about? Let me give you the overview, and then today we're going to talk about 2 cows. Now, I'm going to try to read through this quickly. Again, it's very in-depth. You're going to have to get the DVD to explain it and understand it. Again, it's called 2014 to 2021, available at prophecyclub.com. Just spell prophecy with the letter C in it, okay? prophecyclub.com. Topics are: all prophecies will be confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. Yes, I want you to understand that. September 25th, 2014 started the last 7 years of plenty, which we're about to discuss today. And then September 25th of 2014, the Pope is scheduled to announce the New World Order. And the 7-year tribulation will take place during the years of 2022 to 2028. And that's also part of what we're going to talk about today. The global currency reset hits this fall. Welfare checks will stop. Protesters start burning cities. Martial law declared by Obama. Obama stays in office for 5 years. The Constitution is suspended. All civil rights are gone. Local militias fire at Obamamen. Dumitru's internal revolution prophecy starts. The gun confiscation is then implemented. Then Russia attacks and defeats America in a surprise nuclear attack, and the unarmed Christians then begin to get rounded up and heads lopped off. The New World Order will then be in place. The year by that time will be about year 2021. Now, who am I to say this? Guys, I'm not new to prophecy. I'm not saying this because I found a mic laying around and thought I'd get on TV. God called me to do this. It's a supernatural calling. I've been studying prophecy 40 years, teaching it 35 years, doing a radio and TV program on it for 22 years, had 150 guest speakers in, making over 300 DVDs. I've made 32 DVDs myself. I'm not new to prophecy, and I'm not saying this trying to scare you, trying to make a buck. I am a watchman. I would say this from the ends of the earth if I had no money. I would say this, and you can't make me shut up. Okay, so today, let's talk about the 2 cows. I say that because I want you to know I'm honestly trying to tell you what I know to be true. All right, what are the 2 cows? I think the 2 cows are one of the most important fulfillments. It is what gives us the confirmation of the dates that I just mentioned before. Now, what are the 2 cows? Well, on September 25th of 2014, which is a Shemitah, specifically the 49th Shemitah, the Associated Press announced that there was a 7 cow. Now, they announced it according to the little place where the cow was born, at a little farm up in Wisconsin. I actually talked to them. They call it Ben, in glory and reverence to Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's what they named the cow. However, they didn't understand, and I've talked to them, they didn't understand the significance of it. And you might not either. So let's just stop right there. And let's go back and look at the Bible. What are the significance? Has there been a time when God spoke a prophecy about some very important events coming through cows. Let's go to Genesis 41:17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, or cattle, fat-fleshed, well-favored, and fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine, or cattle, came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. Now, what's the interpretation? Well, Joseph went on to say, of course, he had another dream, but that's the point is still the same. He said the dream is saying that there's 7 years of plenty coming, followed by 7 years of famine. And the 7 years of famine would be so bad that it would eat up the 7 years of plenty before it. Now, could it be that we really are in the last days? No joke. Could it be that God has also sent those with eyes to see and ears to hear the same warning? Now, as I said, the Associated Press announced on September 25th, 2014, that this 7 cow was born. Now, again, you got to get the DVD to see this, where I can explain it to you. But let me try to describe it for you. This is a black and white cow. Big white spots, big black spots, but right across the front of the cow, and it starts from ear to ear, right down between the eyes, all the way down to the nose of the cow is a large white 7. And I mean, it is totally white, and it is perfect. There is not a black hair in the white area, and there is not a white hair in the black area surrounding the 7. It is a perfect 7. It's a typewriter 7. It's as beautiful of a 7 as you can possibly make. Then, on September 25th, 2014, the same day, there was a red cow born. Only this one is solid red all over with a scribbled 7. Not a typewriter 7, not a really nice 7, but it's a scribbled 7. And this one, it's about a fourth to maybe a half the size of the other beautiful 7. In other words, we got a beautiful 7, or we got a blessed 7, or a plenteous 7 on a black and white cow, and then we got kind of a scribbled 7 on a red cow. The interesting part is these were both revealed to the world September 25th, 2014. The black and white cow was published first by the Associated Press, and then that got the word out, and then this other couple, again, I cover all the details in the DVD, then they called in and said, hey, we had a cow that's red. It has a 7 right on its forehead too, and it was born on September 25th. So both of these were revealed to the world on September 25th, 2014. Now, the interesting part of that is that is a Shemitah. A Shemitah doesn't happen just every year, okay? It only happens every 7 years. And I believe in that it was born on September 25th. The interpretation is that God is sending 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Get this? September 25th began the last 7 years of plenty. All right, now let me explain the 7 years of plenty, because when I did this in my congregation, they said, that's the last 7 years of plenty. I said, yeah, that's the last 7 years of plenty. The reason we know that this is accurate is because I happen to know that there's about to be a global currency reset. What they're about to do is bring 400,000 metric tons of gold from antiquity into modern times. They're going to pay off, now get a load of this, all banking debt, all government debt on the globe overnight without warning. And they're going to do that this fall. That's the general answer. More specifically, probably September, or it could be any day. Now, if it is a Jubilee, then I can tell you the day, because the Bible's very specific on that. Leviticus 25 says that on the Day of Atonement, and the Day of Atonement in the year 2015 is September 23rd. So if this is God giving the world a Jubilee, you see, because in Leviticus 25, God told the Jews that they were to blow a trumpet on the Day of Atonement throughout the land, and three things were to happen. One, all land was to be returned to its rightful owner. All slaves were to be set free, and all debts were to be canceled. So if this global currency reset is from God, and I suspect it is, and if it is really a global jubilee, then you can count on it. It's going to be September 23rd. Now, other people think it'll be on another date, and it may be, but the point is still the same. These two cows, a black and white one and a red one, both revealed to the world on a Shemitah, September 25th, 2014, is telling us a message. If we have eyes to see, if we have ears to hear, we will understand this is God talking. Now, let's talk more specifically about the color of each one of these cows, because God is sending a message to us, if we can see it. The cow, the beautiful seven cow, the first cow, the black and white cow, is just that. It's black and white. Now, if I were to say your books are in the black, what would that mean? That would mean, well, your business is doing pretty good. If I were to say your books are in the red, what does that mean? That means your business is in trouble. But you see, this cow is black and white. And that is saying that in this global currency reset, some, the black areas, will be blessed. Some will miss the blessing. Unfortunately, it's going to be kind of like in 1929. During the stock market crash, we heard a lot of people bellyaching about how they lost all this money. Well, what is not said is a lot of people made a lot of money. We'll be right back after this message. Legally, we can't guarantee this trouble will come this year, but of course, having emergency supplies is a good idea. Mina Grebin says she was told to have at least 1 year's food and supplies, including water, and you must have all preparations done by the end of the 2015 summer. She says buy food and supplies. We offer Plan A, 3 meals a day, 1 person, 1 year. Plan B, 1 person, 6 months. Plan C, 1 person, 3 months, or a grab-and-go bucket with 72 meals. Call 800-924-7110 or go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Lindsey Williams has just made his newest and perhaps his best DVD called Fall 2015 Preparations. That's right. Topics are events scheduled for September through December. Things the elite told me to do. Know what you're preparing for. Have an alternate location. Move or suffer. How to stay warm without electricity, and the date the New World Order will be implemented. You did hear that right. It's Fall 2015 Preparations. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Fall 2015 Preparations by Lindsey Williams. Get it today. And now, back to the program. During the stock market crash, we heard a lot of people bellyaching about how they lost all this money. Well, what is not said is a lot of people made a lot of money during the 1929 stock market crash. What it really was a transfer of money from the uninformed to the informed. Well, that same thing is about to happen. And if you know what I'm talking about the global currency reset, then you are probably one that has already situated yourself in a very good position to be very, very blessed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the first time you heard the global currency reset, then you're probably going to be in the white area. You're probably about to miss the blessing. Now, I believe that this global currency reset is represented by this cow, the black and white. Some people will be blessed in it. Some people will not be blessed in it. And I'm sorry, that's all I can tell you. I can't go into any more details than that. I probably said more than I should have said. But now let's talk about the red cow. So now we're looking at a totally red cow with a big white 7. And this one stops about eye level. It's roughly, I'm going to say 40% the size of the cow with the black 7. Only it's just scribbled in. And I believe this is saying red representing famine. The scribbled 7 representing trouble, lean-fleshed, baldness, not very much. Okay, so why is that significant? Why is all of this cow? Why is this giving us any dates at all? Well, for you to understand that, then we got to go ahead and back up and talk about Terry Bennett a minute. Because, see, that's what Joseph did, and that's what I'm doing. By the way, I'm not setting any dates. None of this comes from me. Please, if it happens, don't give me any credit. If it doesn't happen, don't give me any credit, okay? It's not me. All I'm doing is being a good Joseph. I'm simply interpreting what the signs say. You got a black cow and a red cow, or a black and white cow and a red cow, revealed to the world the same day, and it's on a Shemitah that only comes every 7 years. It's not too hard to say, hey, that's saying 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Okay, so what does that say? What is that confirming? All right, so let's go to Terry Bennett. December 10th, 2001. Gabriel visited this guy, or so he says. I've invited him to speak, but he has declined. And so until I can actually shake the guy's hand, look him in the eyes, have a meal with him, and maybe even have him stay overnight in my home, on these big things, I can't absolutely guarantee he heard from God. Now, Dumitru, yeah, I had him in my home on 2 different occasions, a total of 3 weeks. I went to his home. I met his family. I know that Dumitru was a prophet of God, not a question. And by the way, everybody who listened to this broadcast for the last 22 years also agrees with that. So until I get a chance to actually meet the guy, I'm still going to put it in that kind of a context where I say, he says Gabriel visited him. Now, do I believe, Gabriel visited him? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I believe him. And here's why. Deuteronomy 19:21 says, how shall we know the word that the Lord hath not spoken? And it says, when the prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, and that thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, and thou shalt not be afraid. In other words, when the prophet has been accurate in the past, we have to listen to him. Same thing. If you got in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, 2 different prophets, 2 different holy servants of God, saying that God told them this, and it's exactly the same thing, you got to listen. All right, so what did he say? December 10th, 2001. He was told that there is a 21-year period coming, 3 7-year periods. And he told him what was going to happen in each of the 3 7-year periods. So we can pretty much gauge and know if this guy is really hearing from God. So what did he say? He said in 2008 will be the beginning of economic sorrows in our nation. Now, he told him this in 2001. Was that true? Were there any economic problems coming to America in 2008? The answer is absolutely. And that was the beginning of sorrows in 2008. He told him that the United States would no longer be the #1 world economy or military. Wow. And you know what? I just got an article here, about 6 months ago or so, and it says that as of this date, China became the #1 economy in the world. Now, I haven't seen anything saying that America is not the #1 military. However, Russia has been rattling its saber now for several years, and that's probably accurate. But let's go on. He said, during this time, now we're talking 2008 to 2015, the great economic wealth of the United States will be neutralized, and the military power of the United States will be greatly diminished. Happen? Accurate? True? Yes. The economic problems will be the primary cause for the military power being weakened. Now, that was all from Bennett. He also went on to say there will be a change in the U.S. currency. A different currency is going to come, at least one that will entail us no longer being the reserve currency of the world. Has that happened? No, that hasn't happened. Did he miss on that? No, he didn't. Because he says the dates are 2008 through the year 2015. We haven't got to the end of the year 2015, and I personally believe that the global currency reset will take place before the end of the year. Now, what does the global currency reset do? Well, in addition to paying off all of the debts of all banks, all governments, it also is going to remove the PFA from all currencies on the globe. Right now, most of the currencies are what we call PFA, plucked from air. In other words, there's nothing backing them up. There's 198 currencies. They're going to back all of the currencies to a certain degree with gold. 96 of those 198 currencies will change value, some up, some down, based upon the actual assets of the nation and the person's or the people's ability to produce. That hasn't happened. But as I said, my best guess for that to happen would be September 23rd, before or after, someplace in that ballpark. Now, he went on to say, and this is so very important, but unfortunately I'm running out of time, but you're going to get the DVD, so it doesn't really matter. The reason you're going to get the DVD is because although I'm going to do my best to explain it on radio, you just got to see it. I've got charts, I've got pictures, I've got explanations. It's 2.5 hours. I can't begin to cover a 2.5 hour DVD in a 30-minute radio program. I can't explain to you. I mean, just like the cows, you need to see pictures of the cows. The cows are in the DVD. Get the DVD. You go to prophecyclub.com, 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 or grab your cell phone, type in the number 785-266-1112, 785-266-1112. You're going to order the DVD 2014 to 2021, 2014 to 2021. Now, I'm about out of time, so let me quickly run through this. So what does he say is coming from 2014 to 2021? All right, there's about 6 paragraphs here. I'm going to grab one of them because I'm running out of time and read that one. He says that what the United States is going to go through is civil conflict, civil war, then invasion. Did you hear what I just said? Listen carefully. Civil conflict, in other words, people burning the cities. That's coming. Civil war. That's Americans fighting Americans. Then invasion. Invasion is a foreign country coming onto American soil. He just said Americans will fight Americans. He just said Americans will burn American cities. Then a foreign nation will come on our soil. All of that we've been talking about at the Prophecy Club for 22 years now. I've known about it since 1988. He went on to say, I saw in the governmental area that we will go through a dramatic change in our government. There would be a time of anarchy and chaos. For a while, we will have a fractional government, which means basically our government will come down to the state level. Because of the military stepping in and having to seize control of our federal government, did you hear that? Let me read that again. Listen carefully. Because of the military stepping in and having to seize control of our federal government. Did you hear that? You see, a lot of the people in America have taken that oath. You know, the one that says, do you swear to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic? Remember that one? Okay. They've taken that oath, and they took it seriously. So when Obama declares martial law and suspends the Constitution, there's going to get some folks pretty angry. What do you mean taking us off the Constitution? What do you mean taking our guns away? All of that's coming. It's all described in the DVD step by step. Prophecyclub.com, 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 or 785-266-1112. I also need to tell you that Mina Grebin was told that she should store up 1 year's worth of food and water. Now, she doesn't tell anybody what to do as far as putting it in, getting anything themselves, but she was told, at least for her family, that she should store up a year's worth of food and water. Well, if the Lord has told one person to store it up, I think it's a good idea for us all to store it up. So we offer emergency food, which you can find out more about by calling 800-924-7110, 800-924-7110. And Plan A is food for one person 1 year. Plan B, one person 6 months. Plan C, one person 3 months. Or grab and go with 76 servings. 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. So let me summarize. You want the DVD, 2014 to 21, then you go to prophecyclub.com. Want food, you go to prophecyclubfood.com. DVD, prophecyclub.com. Food, prophecyclubfood.com. Food number 800-924-7110. DVD number 785-266-1112. God bless you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your gifts and your support.
Help the Prophecy Club to continue and overcome evil with the truth. Help us take the warning to America. Engage in the battle to win lost souls to Christ by supporting this ministry today.
Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. It's time for our summer blowout. You can get 20 DVDs for a gift of $160. That's only $8 each. 10 for a gift of $100. That's $10 each. 7 for a gift of $120. That's $17 each. 4 DVDs for a gift of $85. That's $21 each. Or 2 DVDs for a gift of $50. $25 each. But you got to call 785-266-1112. That's 785-266-1112. And the offer ends soon. Legally, we can't guarantee this trouble will come this year, but of course, having emergency supplies is a good idea. Mina Grebin says she was told to have at least 1 year's food and supplies, including water, and you must have all preparations done by the end of the 2015 summer. She says buy food and supplies. We offer Plan A, 3 meals a day, 1 person, 1 year. Plan B, 1 person, 6 months. Plan C, 1 person, 3 months, or a grab-and-go bucket with 72 meals. Call 800-924-7110 or go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Order 2014 to 2021. It's the predictions of 2 cows and 13 modern prophecies. As Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, I interpret these signs and prophecies to present a picture of what you can expect from 2014 to 2021. Now remember, all of this is in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. The topics are September 25th, 2014, and how it starts the last 7 years of plenty. September 25, 2015, and how the Pope plans to announce a new world order. Then from the years 2022 to 2028 will be the 7-year tribulation. That's a very big statement. Then there will be a global currency reset. Then welfare checks will stop. Protesters start burning the cities. Martial law then declared. Obama stays in office. The Constitution suspended. Local militias formed to combat the Obamamen. Gun confiscation is then ordered. That starts the internal revolution spoken of by Dumitru. Then Russia attacks America in a surprise nuclear attack. Then Christian martyrdom begins. It's 2.5 hours of some of the most important information in the last 20 years of this prophecy ministry. Call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. It's called 2014 to 2021. Call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. Order today. Come and go with the Prophecy Club to Israel. November 5 to 15, Leslie and I will take you on a biblical archaeology and a Bible prophecy tour. A tour like none other. What makes our tour different than the other tours? Well, we're going to take you to the traditional sites the other tours go on, but we're going beyond. We're going to show you the places and give you information other tours can't. In 1991, Leslie and I went on a tour with Ron Wyatt. He showed us archaeological secrets in Israel we're going to show to you, such as the iron spike that sealed the tomb of Jesus, proving Gordon's Calvary really is the tomb of Jesus. And you're going to pick up brimstone from the city of Gomorrah. You'll gather tar drips from the slime pits of Sodom. You'll visit the more likely birthplace of Jesus, not the one the tour buses stop at. In a special escort, you'll get to go behind the gates at the Garden of Gethsemane and pray. And if the drilling permit has been granted, we'll also go pray over the future drill sites for prophetic oil. Yes, you'll see many of the traditional sites, but this tour goes way beyond. Call 310-402-4042. That's 310-402-4042 for more information. Seating is limited. 310-402-4042.